Hi everybody, Paul Cameron here from SpeedUpMyJobSearch.com with a clip from our monthly jobs-driven networking group, which meets every third Thursday. Let's take a look. Cards require that we identify a desired set of attributes, categorically, right? Instead of just, hey, can you talk to this guy? It's, what specifically are we trying to figure out about this person? It forces you to come up with a numerical evaluation system. And the only way to do that is to set certain standards that each person or each company then needs to pass, needs to achieve to give them that particular score, so that everybody is critiquing based on a consistent set of values. As I was saying, the differences between the two types of interviews, if you ask one of your DBAs to join the interview process, happy to walk in there. Can I see his resume? And they're looking at the resume as they walk in the room. And this is where the questions like, so tell me about yourself come from. That means I'm totally unprepared for this interview. You tell me about yourself while I look through your resume and review, right? And from the candidate's perspective, the results of that, the candidate then is put on the spot and they're said, okay, listen, tell me that memorized speech you have, followed by my favorites that are very common in the IT industry. How would you rate yourself with whatever, SQL Server, with Java, with you name it? What does that mean? If they say 8, really, what does that even mean, right? I can tell you from my perspective what that actually equates to. The number you get is how bad do I need this job, plus how awesome do I think I am, my personal ego, equals my number. What does that tell you about their skill set, really? Not much. So, and if you think about the mindset that puts the person in and how that sets the tone of the interview, that person starts out stressed out, having to give a memorized speech. You've got zero rapport built with that person. They're going to be less likely to share and open up to what their real skills are. And their answers, when you do dive into the technical questions, are going to be more likely to be embellished, we'll say, or inflated, because they have no connection to you whatsoever. So why not just say what they think you want to hear to get the job, right? Compare that to a structured, organized scorecard. And scorecard, I don't just mean evaluate their skills based on their SQL development skills. This can guide the interview all the way through, right? So step 1 on your scorecard is to make sure you're opening the interview correctly. This could be handed to anybody, a DBA, a project manager, anybody, all right? You start an interview out that, hey, I'm so excited to have you here, right? They're going to feel appreciated. And, we've got this thing in common. You've got the rapport building. You're priming them to open up and share more. And you start with a slow softball pitch over the plate kind of a thing that lets them talk about their strengths. From there, they're going to tell you anything, right? Have you ever been in an interview with, well, it's most common with recruiters, where you find yourself saying things like, I would never say this to the employer, but you got there because that recruiter is exceptionally good at this kind of stuff, right? They're able to put you at ease to find that stuff out. That didn't happen by accident. I have an Olympic scorecard system that I use. And it works a lot like the Olympic divers or gymnastics, either one. They kind of do the same thing. I don't know if you guys watch the Olympics at all, or you pay attention to how these things are scored. But the way that they score them, which is fascinating to me, is that the divers or the gymnasts will first choose the stunts that they're going to do, all the different flips and tricks and number of turns and all that stuff that they're going to do first before they even enter the arena. And they hand those into the judges. And the judges score the difficulty of the dive or the routine that the person's going to do. I'll stick to diving here because I got the picture up. So they're going to score the difficulty of the dive first. And then at the actual event, they score the execution of each skill, if that makes sense. And then they multiply the two, and that's what leaves them with their score. The first thing you want to do here is to rate the importance of the thing. It's a 3 if it's absolutely required that they have it. It's a 2 if they really should have it, but it's not a deal breaker if you don't. 1 is, boy, it sure would be nice if they had that kind of a rating, right? They got to have at least 2 years of development. But, if they've got healthcare experience and they only have 1, maybe we take a look at it. So I put that as a 2. So we've got all these different criteria that you can change out to whatever's relevant to the position. And then candidate A, let's say this person has got it. And my performance key up here, the candidate has this attribute exactly as we want. I'd rate them as a 2 if they have it. It's not exactly what we need. They've got healthcare experience, but it's at an insurance company. Maybe not exact, but they have it. 1 is they've got exposure to it. They've read a lot and they're excited about AWS, but they haven't actually dipped their toe in it as of yet. And then 0, they don't have it at all. Right. So healthcare data candidate A, he's got that. It's 2 years of SQL development. He's got that experience. Complete skills match, not so much. Hasn't really taken ownership, but maybe on occasion on certain projects here and there. You get the idea. And as I do that, I have it rate them as gold, silver, and bronze. So let's say this guy has it, but it's not exactly what we need. He has this, and we give them their scores as they go. And then at the end of it, they're being objectively scored against each other, which ones are the strongest candidates based on the criteria we set forward, and kind of pulls the emotion out of, I know that's your nephew, but that's a silver medalist. That's not our gold medalist. And that's what dictates what I present to my clients. And I encourage them to use a similar system if they're not already. Likewise, from the candidate perspective, how important is the job title to you? Some people say job title, that's not very important to me, at all. And having a good culture, that's going to be important, that's there. The supervisor, people join companies, they leave managers, right? So how important is that to you that you have somebody that you enjoy working for? And then afterwards, after that great interview, and they made you feel great because they primed you for good stuff, and and you realize, oh yeah, I wanted a better commute. I wanted those sorts of things. So you've got a better, more accurate rating of which companies you're interested in based on your criteria that you set out before you met any of these companies, right? And without a weighting system, things that aren't as important to you skew these results the wrong direction. So that's how I would encourage a weighting system in your scorecards. And then this will do the same thing as the other one of 3 and 2. And so it gives you a gold, silver, bronze all the way through. And you can have as many companies in here as you need. I hope that was helpful for you. And please check out the rest of our YouTube channel for more tips and strategies to help you with your job search. I'd love to meet you at the next one, so I hope you can make it. Thanks for watching.